I don't think Hallmark have ever messed up a film quite as badly as they did with Christmas bedtime stories. This was released in 2022. It's directed by Alysse Leite-Rogers and stars Erin Cahill. I love Erin Cahill, so I was really excited for this. And there were a few things about it that I didn't like. We get some flashbacks as the mother is telling the stories. I'll get into those in a moment. I didn't really like the way the flashbacks were edited in, but I still really thoroughly enjoyed most of this film, and I couldn't understand why it has 5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a pretty low rating. It's not horrendous, but it's not a good rating. And I was thinking, why is this so low? This is a really good film. And then, eventually, I found out why, and it ruined the entire film. And my only advice is watch this, but don't watch it until the end. I will, with a spoiler warning, discuss what I mean by that, because I do recommend the film, and I can kind of understand what they were going with the ending and where the film went, but it was a terrible, terrible decision, and I have reasons for that. And I did read some reviews online afterwards because I was curious to see if people felt how I felt, and the consensus is yes. It's pretty unanimous. How could nobody working on this film realise that this was a bad idea? The film is about a mother, Danielle, played by Erin Cahill, and her daughter, Audrey, played by Alice Comer, and the new life they're starting to have with her mother's partner. And we learn that actually Audrey's father, Danielle's husband, was actually MIA, presumed dead, I think 3 years before, if I remember. And slowly, Danielle's starting to get back on her feet. She's still obviously grieving her husband, but she's allowing herself to open her heart to somebody new, which is, of course, a big step for her and also a big step for her daughter. And things seem to be going in the right directions, but Danielle is understandably struggling to let go of the past, or at least struggling to allow herself to look into the future. And as Audrey's getting older, she's asking questions about her father, and this, of course, is stirring up feelings that Danielle has perhaps suppressed to the best of her ability over the years. And her relationship with Pierce, played by Steve Lund, is uncertain. It seems to be going in the right direction, but there's something that's causing Danielle to hesitate. And Danielle's aware of it, Pierce is aware of it. Who knows where the film is going? I thought it was going in a really great direction. And I'll get in with that in a moment. Very quickly, the Christmas aspect. Yes, there's plenty of Christmas in it. We have a Santa Claus, we have some Christmas music. There's a beautiful moment where Danielle sings Silent Night, and it was difficult to remain dry-eyed. It's a very emotional film for the right reason. The film's, an hour and 20 minutes? And I'd say an hour and 10 minutes are beautiful. Difficult to watch for the right reasons because it's very emotional and very well done. And there's enough Christmas in there to, occasionally keep things a little bit lighter, a little bit jollier, just to lift the mood every now and then without losing the true emotions that the characters are facing. I think they did a fantastic, phenomenal job. Almost. So I will discuss what I mean by that, and I'll discuss what I thought the film was going to be about. Danielle gives this really brilliant speech in the final third of the film, and I thought, yeah, you've just captured the essence of the film in this speech. And then it from basically just after that point, it just all went downhill. So I do recommend it, but just be mindful of the fact that what you think you're getting is not what you're getting, and there are negative reviews online for a reason. So, big spoilers from now. I'm going to discuss the last kind of 15, maybe 20 minutes of the film, and this speech is a speech Danielle gives at this party, at this Christmas event, and the speech is all about how you need to honour the past, cherish your memories of the past, but allow yourself to live in the present, to embrace the time you have with the people around you who you love, people who love you. Obviously there it's saying this tragic thing has happened. You're not going to forget your husband, your partner, whoever it is you've lost, but at the same time, you need to live in the present. They would want you to live in the present because you have the gift of life. You are here. It is now. The time is yours to enjoy to appreciate what you have, and to love those around you who love you in return. Beautiful, beautiful message. Don't let go of the past, but allow yourself to live for the present and to be hopeful for the future. Gorgeous, fantastic, great message. And then it completely ruined it. And honestly, I think they were trying to instill hope, because right at the very end, Danielle's husband is back. He definitely doesn't look like somebody who's been held captured for 3 years, let's put it that way. And that is a minor irritation. I was annoyed that he returned. I'm not saying I don't want her husband, missing, presumed dead, to suddenly come back, because obviously for her that's a brilliant thing. But at the same time, it ruined the message. And it basically is telling people, actually, don't move on with your life. Don't live for the present. Cling to the past, because maybe one day, if miracles can happen, the past will come back to you and your loved one presumed dead will come home. So don't move on. Don't open your heart. Don't allow yourself to love other people. Live in the past only. Otherwise, you're betraying the one you've lost. Basically, that's the message the film has at the end. I think they were going for hope. Don't lose hope, because you never know. Unless there's a body, unless you can confirm they're dead, you never know. And of course, that's not just the case for people in the military, that's anybody who is missing. And yeah, having hope is important, but you need to balance it with living in the moment. And the film basically went, no, don't bother living in the moment. Don't open your heart to other people. Just cling to the past instead. They tried. I think they tried to just instill hope, but they actually failed miserably. And I just don't understand how nobody working on this film, I mean, maybe they did, but nobody who had the power to change it saw that this was a terrible, terrible idea. Completely ruined the film. It's sending out a really damaging, dangerous message. And I just can't believe that they ruined an otherwise really wonderful, emotional, moving, heartfelt, important narrative. So maybe I was confused for approximately an hour and 10 minutes about why this had such a low rating on IMDb. And then in the final 10 minutes, everything made perfect sense. I'm just so flabbergasted that nobody with the power to change the story stopped and went, what are you doing? This is a terrible, terrible idea. So unfortunately, it ruined an otherwise great film. Christmas Bedtime Stories is 90% a brilliant film and 10% a disaster.